Okay. Did any? Oh shit. Let's see if anything came through on the. Okay, we got it.
Yep.
Okay. Damn, I can't believe we missed half the. We had a good conversation going too. Okay, hold on. Let's bring that back. Okay.
Run it back real quick.
Okay. All right. So let's do this here. So, because I think for people like Richie Rob, he wanted a good show, right? So,
Of course.
Yeah, let's run it back.
Of course.
Let's run it back. Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Smart Guys take 2.
Oh, you gonna start the whole thing?
Hell yeah. Welcome. Due to a little weird technical difficulty, we back. We are take 2 of the live stream of the Smart Guys Tech Podcast, episode 66. If you got an you got an Apple device, just turn the features off. That's what we're talking about today. Wow. I'm your boy, Smart Guy Big Q, and I'm joined by my homie.
It's your boy Keon X again for the second time.
So listen, I think we fixed the audio issue. I think the audio issues have been corrected. Can we verify that real quick? Anybody in the comment section just verify that the audio has been corrected? I want to just check real quick just to make sure. Hold on a sec. Let's see here.
On my end, it's coming out. I can hear it.
Yeah. Okay. We good. We are good. We're a gangster. We doing it okay. So anyway, just to explain that, the show has been on hiatus for about a month, and due to all my stuff, when I haven't did anything over here, like I haven't recorded anything. So this is the first show that we've done since the last show that we did. So OBS need to be updated,
which was like a week or two before Unpacked.
Yeah, before Unpacked, right? Yes, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, what we're talking about, we were saying how the devices that we missed, we didn't get to talk about them, but now that they're out, I actually got a chance to get my Samsung drop. I got the Galaxy Z Fold 4, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, and the Galaxy Buds Pro 2. Is that what they call them? I think that's right. I think that's what. Galaxy Buds Pro 2, yeah. And what you end up copying?
And so Apple event happened, and they went over the new iPhone 14 line, the new Apple Watch line, and the AirPods Pro 2.
Yeah.
I have the iPhone 14 Pro.
Nice.
Apple Watch Series 8. I did not get the Buds. I did not get the Ultra, as far as the Apple Watch goes.
Definitely.
As we were talking about it, the Ultra is like the newest, best, most capable Apple Watch ever.
Yeah, man.
It's actually not that expensive. $800 is low for what I was thinking.
I actually think, you know what? I was talking to some of the guys who I work with, the Apple dudes, right? And they were saying they were balking at the $800 price tag. Now I was saying how I thought the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro at $500 for the LTE model, which I have, was I didn't mind paying that price. I thought for a titanium, quality build watch, that's what you pay, right? Apple went a little bit extra with theirs, and I still think 800 is. I think I would have done.
Everybody was saying it was going to be at least 1,000.
Yeah,
and when I heard 800 for the 49mm LTE, titanium, all that stuff, I was like, that's not bad. Considering what Apple will make you pay for stuff.
So the question was, well, dude, is $800 is the same price as a flagship phone? It's only going to last a year or two before it's obsolete. And I was just like, well, I mean, it is what it is.
I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna last longer than that. Cause we just dropped the Series 3,
right?
So that's 5 years old.
Yeah.
And this is not for most people. This is not for 90% of the people out there.
Absolutely.
99% of the people out there. This is for if you're doing something. This is Apple saying, "Hey, we've got 60% of the market.
Yeah.
How can we get 70?
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's grab these guys right here.
Yeah.
And then in 2 more years they're gonna be like, how can we get 80? So if you weren't in the first 60%, you might not be in this 70%.
Absolutely. And I don't know. Like I said, I didn't have an issue with the price of it. I actually think because if anybody who's been following us know that the Apple Watch ain't been my favorite. I don't like the way it look. I never have. This one I actually think it looks cool. I love the flatter design of it. And like I said, the one thing that threw me off was that little part on the on the right with the crown and that little cover. Yeah, I don't like that. Other than that, I think it looks nice. I think it's well worth the money. I think so. You know what I mean? So
I like the little action button they put on the side.
That was cool. That's cool, right? Yeah, I thought that was all right. Now it was some things, and we'll get into it because we got some stuff to talk about. Like, because the main thing I want to get into later, and we'll do. I wanted to make sure we do it later because there's other things I want to cover first.
Of course.
But there has been things that I definitely wanted to get your take on. The three things I want to get your take on, and this is the three main things that came with the iPhone 14. First one, eSIM situation. I know at first.
Well, we're going to talk about four things. So I do want to talk about the camera.
So eSIM situation, there's that. I want to talk to you about that. I also want to talk to you about how you feeling about Dynamic Island and how I feel like Samsung, these other Android guys, I see y'all already starting to imitate Samsung. If
you already see the apps and the ROMs?
If you listen to Samsung, stay the hell away from their little island. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. I see, that, and the main thing I want to talk about is because we talked about this before the phone came out. We thought that we're going to try to implement always on display. And I'm going to tell you, I was one of the ones who said Apple going to drop the ball on this. And what we've noticed, at least what I've noticed, you're a user, so that's why I want to get your take on it. But what I've noticed is I see a lot of stuff on social media, and everybody's saying the same thing. # just turn it off. We're going to talk about it here. So anyway, that's where we at. That's the stage set. So that's what we're talking about today. Where you want to start at, bro?
I mean, we can talk about the Apple stuff. If you've got more thoughts on your Galaxy haul.
The only thing was, the only story I got about Samsung, which I thought was cool. Let me see if we can show this on the stream here. So saying right, Samsung Z Flip, Z Fold 3 sales dwarf previous foldable demand. And did I get the right story? I probably didn't. This ain't the right one. That's not what I was looking at. But they were basically saying how, same thing they said last year, that the foldable market was going to grow. And basically they're achieving what they've been trying to achieve with this foldable stuff, right? And it's weird because, like, I'll see people who don't have the foldable for like an Apple customer or whatever, they're coming there. Everybody's intrigued. But, it's always like, I don't know, man. I'm waiting on Apple to do it. And
what I want to know is, as far as Android people that come into the store, are you seeing, I'm guessing you're still seeing more flat phones than foldables, but is it getting like a higher percentage of foldables?
I see it's just the anomaly. The anomaly is the S22 Ultra. Because
holding people back because that's a nice phone.
Well, number one, I think it threw a wrinkle in everything because it is that good, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, people ask me all the time, dude, what's the better phone? The S22 Ultra or the Galaxy Z Fold 4? And I can't, in good conscience, say go for the foldable. The foldable is newer and it's nicer.
You don't think it's better?
I don't think it's better. I think if we
thought they had the camera on the S22 Ultra and then all the fold stuff.
Well, it does, but it doesn't have the two things that set the Ultra apart: the 108 megapixel sensor and the 100 times periscope zoom camera. Yeah, well, that's what I'm just telling you. That's what it is, right? That's what it is.
My favorite. Who's using the 100 times zoom?
Listen, I don't know, but people love it. I don't know. And if it ain't that, it's the 108 megapixel. I can see
the camera in general.
Yeah. So like the Fold is nice because it has the other two cameras. It has the 50 megapixel telephoto and the and the other 20 megapixel main or whatever. So those are nice, and especially if you are a Fold 3 user, you are praising that, right? Because it's amazing, right? It's good. The whole 100 times space zoom stuff. That's still left with the Ultra. And then you also had that endurance with the battery. But that's another thing. The battery life, everybody was kind of skeptical because they didn't change the cell on it, right? 4400 milliamp hour battery, they didn't change it, but they put a new chip in it. And I can tell you, after having the phone for about a month, the battery I think is better in this one than it was in the other one. I mean, I'm not having any issues.
It's probably because of the chip, the processor.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking so. Like I'm not having any issues at all. I can get through my day, and I'm coming home now with 60-something% better when I used to be like in my 30s when I used to come home with the Fold 3. So I think it's nice. And other than that, I think it was doing well. The Flip is still doing pretty good. Actually, the Flip it's crazy to me because I don't really ever see the Flip customers. I always see the Fold. Those are the ones I spend the most time with. But people are buying that flip left and right. I just don't
so
ever
out
see
in
them.
public for me, I see the flip more.
Yeah. Well,
granted, I don't see any of them a lot. Yeah. But if I do see a foldable, it's more likely to flip than the fold.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I definitely that flip is doing its thing. And it's just that I don't really spend a lot of time with those people. But that was that. The only other thing I wanted to get into, I don't know. I just wanted to ask you this. This was a joke to me. This story I saw with Uber Eats and Nuro signed a 10-year deal to do robot food delivery in California and Texas. Now, I saw the story and it made me think about you. Right? I was like,
it made you think about me.
I said, I'm gonna throw this at Keon and see how you think. Because my question is this, right? If the robot is delivering the food, do you still leave a tip?
I mean, I wouldn't.
You tipping the robot?
But I'm different. No, I'm not tipping. First of all, I'm not ordering delivery because I'm not about to pay $20 in delivery fee and then people want tips and stuff. I'm not doing all that.
You tipping the robot?
But the robot, I'm definitely not tipping. Like, don't even. There better not even be a tip portion for the robot.
You're right. Just saying. I saw that. No. I was like, do you tip the robot or not? I don't know.
People are still probably gonna tip.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna go to the company or something like that.
Okay.
Before we jump back into the phones though, I do want to talk about a tweet that I sent you a little while ago, where I think it's Qualcomm, whoever's making the wireless Qi chargers, have now made a wireless power adapter for like an appliance. So in the video that I sent you, it was like a blender.
Yeah.
And you put it on a certain spot and it just works. You don't have to plug nothing in.
Right.
I love that.
But I'm gonna tell you the problem with that. I'm gonna say because I think that is dope. But now the problem with that, you have to incorporate into the surface of everything in the kitchen.
Oh, true, yeah.
Right, so that's gonna drive the price like ridiculous.
Oh, this is for public consumption. This is 20 years out.
Oh yeah, but it's dope.
10, 15 years out.
But it's the whole idea, the Kia desk, right? It's got the little, and those wireless chargers are awful, by the way. If whoever bought those Kia desks, the smart desks, got the built-in chargers, and you put your phone. It's the idea of it. I think is dope, but like the implementation that the IKEA did, and those chargers were like what 7 watt, whatever. They were bad.
Yeah, those are good for like. I've seen stuff like you put in your living room. Yeah. So if I'm just in the living room watching TV and I throw my phone on the counter or whatever, right. Sure, give me a little bit of charge.
Yeah.
But like if I need to charge it,
don't. Yeah. So
that's terrible.
But I think smart kitchen I think is definitely going to be a thing that we see as a new category that kind of.
Of course.
Oh yeah, because I mean if you're going to do smart stuff, because like I said, like the wife she's been enjoying ever since we got that new stove and now we we paired it up with the refrigerator and microwave and everything, and they all kind of working together and stuff like that. So that's cool. I think smart kitchen is definitely. And I would invest in that too. I would definitely give me a smart kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I would be like George Jetson up in that piece. You know what I'm saying? So
I just think that's neat that we're moving there. I remember 3 years ago we were talking about as long as you're in like the room, your stuff will start charging.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that since that like popped up that one time. But
and then you remember the thing about how some firms are supposed to get a wireless charge off the radio waves from the router. We did this last year, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we see this every now and then, but I'm glad to see that they're doing stuff. They're not just sitting on their hands.
Right. Absolutely. That is something.
But
else.
It also kind of sucks if you bump your blender and just turn off.
Yeah, that's crazy. So here's the thing. If we go as we transition back to the phones. Like everybody who know me, they know that I'm so pro Samsung that sometimes they think that I'm anti-Apple, right? I don't know why they think that. I have no idea what I don't know.
Well, are you trying to say you're not anti-Apple?
You know what? I don't define myself like that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you were to tweet out I'm anti-Apple, everybody would reply like, "Is this new?" Right. What's he trying to tell us? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, people think because I'm so pro Samsung, they automatically assume that I'm anti-Apple, and I don't feel that way. I had to tell a lady today, and she was like, "Oh, you probably hate Apple." I'm like, "Why? Why would I do that? I don't hate Apple."
I mean, I'm pro Apple, and some of our friends, I'm not gonna name names. Yeah. Some of our friends think I'm anti-Android. I'm just
right? Yeah,
Good job.
So everybody was like, "Oh man, it's like stuff going on with the iPhone. You must be loving this." And I'm like, "Why? Why would you think that I would be relishing in like? Listen, I work with a mobile team, so like their success kind of is my success. So like if it's something that we got to figure out with this eSIM situation, the only issue I had was, and I'm gonna just keep it 100. This is the only issue I had with it, right? And it's one of the main issues that I have with Apple is that they just say, "Hey, listen, this is what we doing, and that's that." You know what I mean? Like no package is saying, "Listen, so when the new phone comes out, or we're moving to a new eSIM type situation, and this is the way you guys need to handle it." No, they're just like, "Hey, this is what we're doing.
Remember,
this is what we're doing."
eSIM has been out for at least 2 years. At least.
Yeah.
So Apple's now just being like, "All right, we're just gonna do it." Like, why we not? Why is nobody using this?
But now all your retailers are scrambling. Nobody, like I'm telling you, nobody knew how to handle this. Nobody knew how to handle it.
So since we're going to go ahead and talk about the stuff, that could be the first thing, the eSIM. I had to move over from a physical prepaid SIM card to eSIM.
Yeah.
So when I turned on my phone and it said, "Hey, I know your old plan was T-Mobile. Do you want to transfer it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then immediately said, "We can't do it. You don't have to call." So I did have to call T-Mobile, but my phone call was like 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
I just had to scan the QR code, and I was pretty much done.
Wow.
I have one of my friends.
And you're a prepaid customer.
Yeah, I was prepaid, and I thought I was going to go through a lot of trouble.
I thought you would have too. Yeah.
No, super easy.
Wow.
One of my friends has Visible, which is like a third party of Verizon.
Yeah.
And I think he might have already been using eSIMs. No, he was using regular cards, regular SIM cards, but he was having trouble activating his new phone, and his took 3 days.
Wow.
Of being back and forth with customer support. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying, I'm going to switch my service. Yeah. I can't believe I can't pay with my new phone. All this stuff.
I saw it. I mean, I saw it. I saw them in the store, bro. Like people in the store for hours, bro.
And it's no rhyme or reason. It's not like contract people have it easy or prepaid people have it easy. Yeah. It's just some people do, some people don't.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just I felt like it was. You're right, because it's really not a surprise because it's been there. But it's just
been there.
But the fact that they just said, "Hey, listen, it ain't even no options here. That's what we're doing." Okay, like
yeah, for US and Canada, you have no other choice.
Yeah, but so, this is something that tripped me out. They told me like for the last couple years, right? Oh, especially I think it was the S21 was the one that I got that had the eSIM and the physical SIM in it, right? And it's like, oh yeah, it does have but no carrier is gonna want to, like, basically the carriers didn't want to mess with it. They didn't want to mess with eSIM. I was like, so anytime you call them up or go in there and you talk about, oh, I got an eSIM on my S21, they're like, yeah, man, they give you the runaround so you can't do it. Now Apple's like, hey, you got to do it. Now they trying to figure that shit out.
I wanted to do eSIM a couple of years ago, and T-Mobile was wanting to change my plan for and do all this stuff. I'm just like, all right, forget it.
Yeah.
I don't even want. I had to talk to certain customers for. I couldn't do it. I was just like, all right, don't worry about it. The weird thing is, international is going to be hard.
Yeah.
People who travel is going to be hard because international people, you just go out, you buy like $100 or $10 or a 10-day card, you throw it in your phone, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I did when I went to London. Yeah, we just got over there. We went to the little local spot, grabbed some SIMs, and throw them in our phones, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be hard now if you're coming from America and going to London.
Yeah,
with your eSIM only iPhone.
That is nuts. So
Apple made our carriers like said, "Hey, you got the technology. You're going to have to learn how to use it."
So now
you got the world now.
Let me ask you, because this is what I was saying, and I don't know how true it is. Because I had to. I was like, I said I'm gonna confer with my man because he's an Apple guy. He, because I ain't gonna be just running around saying crazy stuff and it ain't being true, right? So,
right,
because I was saying there was no need to take out the SIM slot when they didn't use the space for anything else. They put a piece of plastic in there.
There's a plastic box right there.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, this is another lock-in thing because people who like to carry multiple, you used to be like this, I don't know you do it that much no more where you carry multiple devices, right? When you just kind of move your SIM between devices and kind of keep it moving. And now you can't really do that, right? So like, what about those guys though who like Zoe? I think Zoe's a dual wielder, right? What is,
he is.
What is he going to do? Now you got to have an extra line, right?
So he can't do it. I don't know if he can do it with Android because I think you might be able to do it with just Samsung stuff, but that sounds like it's going to be a hassle to call and do that. I know if you have multiple iPhones, it's not a problem.
Now, what I noticed,
once you activate the new one, it just connects.
I noticed when I was setting up my Z Fold 4. Now I didn't see this on. This is the first. That was the first time I saw it was with the Z Fold 4. Didn't even see it with the S22s. The second, like one of the second screens that you run into when you setting the phone up was an eSIM setup, right? So I was thinking, okay, well, eSIM must not be that hard. It must, because I thought it was just like drop my Verizon information in there, boom, it's done. And then if I wanted to go and do a different phone, I would just do the same thing. But you're saying it's more complex than that?
It can be, but it really depends on what carrier you have and how they're working with it.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that like the actual Verizon, not like a third party offshoot, isn't bad. Like they've got their stuff ready, but I don't know. And another thing that tripped me up about this, Apple's only doing eSIM only in North America. The whole rest of the world has a SIM card.
Yeah.
So Apple went from like 5 years ago having the GSM and the CDMA phone.
Yeah.
To then having just one unlocked phone. Now we're back to eSIM only and the physical SIM. I don't know. They put the little plastic thing, so it's just like, are you guys waiting until next year to figure out what to put in there?
But let's just look. I'm just trying to understand what benefits Apple for doing this. What's the point?
I think it's a future play. It's not even right now. It's like next year. Now we have space to do whatever.
Okay.
Or maybe, like you said, it's to lock in people to make it, just irritating enough that they don't want to go through this process again.
Absolutely.
You do it the first time, it takes a couple hours, fine. But now you're not doing it again. You're not switching your SIM cards again. You're not going.
Not just so you can rock a Samsung as your secondary phone. Oh hell no, right? No, absolutely not. Zoe's in the building. Zoe says, "Seems like I have to contact T-Mobile to switch, but I have 2 lines. My iPhone never leaves the main line, so no big deal."
So that's what I thought. Have an iPhone line and the Android line.
Right, so that's what I thought, right? It would be 2 lines, right? So you wouldn't be able to, because see, for me, it's just me, I would just move my SIM between the different ones, right? Mm-hmm. So that would be the thing. Like, I don't know. I don't see that's the thing. I don't know if that's good or if that's bad, because you're pretty much saying, I don't really want you carrying anything else. This is it. I mean, why are you carrying?
You got to pay for it. You're not just about to be having the fruits of your garden. Nah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I do know that Apple pretty much picked a fight, and they were just like, "Hey guys, this is gonna be uncomfortable, but we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it." I mean, like, look, listen. They didn't back down. They didn't falter or waver. They was like, "Look, this is what it is." And we're gonna move forward with it. So just like I was telling somebody at work, it's just like with Apple Pay. They was like, listen, this is what it is. Y'all fix y'all stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with Apple Pay. Apple Pay works fine. You got to step your game up, you know.
Hey, I kind of like it. Like, you're just like saying, hey, I'm just about to run through this.
Right. You know what I mean?
Whatever happens. It is. Like I said, they're hoping on, like, you're going to go through this one time. It's going to be painful. But then after that, it's going to be smooth sailing.
I guess so, right? I guess so. But it's just... It's been a mess. Everything it's been shaky. So that was that, Keon. And then now I didn't really spend a lot of time with the whole camera thing and the iCloud and that what happens when you do the transfer, all that weird stuff. I just saw it. I didn't really look at it. But the other issues, like only ones I said I really read into was the eSIM, the always on display, and the what was the other thing? The island. Those were the things that I saw.
But you had issues with the camera in the cloud.
Yeah, they were saying some issues about the camera would shake, and then when you do like the iCloud backup. Yeah. So like I was just like, well,
fixed that.
To me that just seemed like software bugs from like new software. So I wasn't tripping about that, you know. So
they already fixed that. They already put the update out.
Okay.
If you have an iPhone 14 device and your camera is shaking in third-party apps, update to iOS 16.0.2, you'll be fine.
Okay, so it wasn't, because I saw that and I was like, oh well, I don't know about that, because that could be easily done with a software update. So people were tripping about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to engage in
But of course, it was only affecting the third-party apps,
right?
So Apple really didn't care that much,
right?
But they're like, fine, y'all can have y'all TikToks and stuff.
Okay, so let's do this one real quick, and then unless you had one you wanted to do.
I want you to continue whichever one you want.
Well, I'm going to the island first. I'm going here.
Okay.
I'm going to the island. So first of all, let me say this because I want to be very clear.
Yes.
That I am not a island hater. I am not. I am not going to sit here and tell you that I think the island is dope either. I'm not going to say that either. I think it's fine. It's a little too goofy for my taste. But I think for what it's worth and what it does, and come on, this is Apple being creative, right? They doing something with that mess up at the top of their phone. You know,
the camera.
I'm cool. I don't have this is what I said. I said it early. Samsung, if you're watching, like I know Apple and Huawei and all of them are already messing around.
You already have apps doing this.
Yeah, y'all are already messing around. I see it on Twitter. I see it. And you Android users who are posting this, being happy about it, and oh my God, look, we have dynamic. Sit down. Sit down.
Y'all gonna make a company think I'm serious.
Sit down somewhere, bro. Please. And Samsung, please stay as far away from their island. I don't want to see nothing even close, remotely close to implementation of that's their island. Let them have that. And I'm serious about it. I just think let's leave it alone. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Listen. You see what Zoe said, right? Zoe's like, it's so trash. It's there. That's what I'm saying.
I want you to try it. I want you to try it on your phone.
No, I'm not.
Go ahead and put the. I'm gonna send you the app. I want you to put the app on your phone.
Listen, bro. Listen. I think this is one of the most innovative and dynamic and cool things that came to an iPhone in a long time. Let them have that. You know what I'm saying? So let me get your take on it. Right? You playing with it?
Okay.
What you think?
Yeah. So for me, it's also just a fine thing.
Yeah.
It's like almost a whatever. Almost. Yeah. Not quite. The notch. Nothing happened in the notch.
Yeah.
2 days in, you forgot about the notch was there.
Right.
Now we have the dynamic island. Some stuff happens in the island, so you kind of know it's there.
Yeah.
But also, you don't really care too much. Some people are like, "Oh, I'm watching a video, and then I got this little black circle." I'm like, you had the notch last year. It's the same thing. What you didn't complain about?
Yeah.
Other people are like, "Oh, you can see phone calls and other system events in the island, but why can't we see all notifications? Why can't I do everything in the island?" It's like, that's too much. Y'all doing too much.
Right. You know,
it's a non-thing for me. Like, I see it, I notice it's there. When it has an equalizer in it for the music, so I do like that because it's an actual equalizer. It's not like just like a random.
But you know, the thing that tripped me out though, it's got like it got album art and a little. I don't know, man. I'm
gonna see if I can
album art, bro. I don't know. Listen again. I don't want to come off as a hater because I don't want it to seem like that. But
you're a hater too.
I am not. He says, Zoe says, I like that the Face ID and camera calls out of the way.
You can barely see it, but like. There's an equalizer on that side.
Yeah.
Maybe I turn the brightness down. Maybe that helps.
I can see it a little bit.
Yeah. And then you got a little album art on the other side.
Yeah. Again,
it's like a non-thing. I do hate that like while something's in it, you can't see like your signal. I don't know if I have 5G or LTE.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Stuff like that because it just shows me the bars.
So is this another one of them differentiators that? Like, let you know that whether or not you are a baller status or not.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
The 14s have the notch. 14 Pros have an island.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
So, listen, we got to let y'all know.
If you hand me a phone with a notch, I'm going to be like, ugh. You still got notches? Ugh.
Yeah, like your joint is fluid. It moves around. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, why doesn't yours do stuff?
Yeah.
It's not my hand.
So listen. Again, I think it's cool. I mean, I think it's a cool thing for iPhone users. I think that's nice. I feel like it's the equivalent of what did Samsung do with the
hole punch,
the edge lighting? You know what I mean? Like that thing. Like it's cool. But nobody really cares, right? I mean, it's dope. And I like it. I mean, it's kind of fun to look at.
I feel like most people don't really care.
Yeah.
Or they just want all of the notifications to come out with it. I don't think people have too much of an issue with it.
Yeah.
I will say congrats to Apple because I do like having like a black space that does expand and go back and forth instead of having like the circle for the camera and the circle for the sensors. Like that would have looked terrible.
Yeah. And then I saw people trying to fake it a little bit by having it outside in the sun, taking pictures of it and make it look ugly. Because see, you know what? I ain't about that life, man. Like that stuff right there, that's too much, man. You know what I'm saying, right?
Just let it be. Just let it stop trying to find the flaw.
You know?
So Zoe says I have to swipe down to get to my music. What do you mean, Zoe? Are you talking about when the music's playing?
Oh, I think he's being sarcastic. I think he's being sarcastic.
I don't know.
I think it's being sarcastic.
I will say, like, if music is playing, I can tap it and it'll go to Spotify.
Yeah.
Or I can hold it and it'll just pop up like that.
Yeah. See, listen. Like I said, I think the idea of it is great. I think.
He's talking about the people with the notch.
Yeah, and I think the implementation of it was good. You know, and it's like they're playing with their I guess it's an imperfection. I guess if you want to call it that. But I don't. But I mean, it's theirs, and it's only available. Like that phone is the only phone that had that weird kind of situation. Well, I guess other ones have notches too, but Apple has their own defined notch or whatever, and this is their way of kind of playing with it. I think it's cool. Now, what I don't think is cool.
Like I said, before we jump into that, okay. Like I said, I am going to send you that app. I do want you to try it out for a day.
You know what?
Have a notch on your phone.
Listen, man, that's going to make me feel so dirty, bro.
Zoe, I'm glad you're here so you can hear this. I'm gonna send it to him. He's gonna post it on Twitter. His review.
You know, guys, man, that's plagiarism, man. you know what I'm saying? Listen,
next year is gonna be eSIM only Galaxy Fold 5. Man, so get ready.
You know what? So listen, like I said, now when it comes to that, I'm not. Like I said, I guess I should make a statement because you know what? I do like being able to go overseas and just grab local SIMs and do stuff like that. I don't want to deal with no eSIM. So no, let's stay.
eSIM only Galaxy Fold 5 next year.
Hang on to the physical SIM for about as long as we held on to the SD card, right? What was it, like 5 years we hung on to it, right?
I do know that your international presence is larger than Apple's.
Yeah. See, I'm saying. So you definitely gonna need. Because people need to move around, man. Like I'm just saying, you know, people got to move. I mean, I just think that kind of locks you down a little bit. You know what I mean? But I also feel like just the last thing to top it off with the island with these imposters, right? These Huawei's and these other ones. I'm pretty sure some in the Google Play Store right now that I can throw on my phone.
It's an app. There's apps.
I'm pretty sure. Listen, I don't. So I don't try to understand the reasoning behind it, right? So like, why do we need the? I don't want the phones to be the same. I like the fact that they're different. Like why? So why are they trying to bring Samsung or Android features to the iPhone? Now we can do the thing or whatever. And
everybody does it.
I don't want to do that.
You know how many launches there are to make your Android phone look like an iPhone?
I know.
Or features that you can do on iPhones that start off on Android?
I am not a fan. And so I'm definitely not a fan. I'm definitely not a fan of the dynamic continent, right?
Y'all don't really have a reason to use it though.
Well, we're trying
at least on the inside screen.
Yeah, we're trying to hide our camera. We're trying to hide them under the screen. So I mean, they're doing
embracing it.
They're doing a terrible job of it, but of hiding it. But they're trying. I give them. Go ahead with.
The first show back, you about to get banned, though.
Man, because I got moderators coming in next week. I'm telling you, right.
Last but not least, not last.
But let me get
your
into
favorite thing. Let me
get into the crux of my ire of this whole entire thing. Because listen, we talked about this, and I said, listen, I know in my heart of hearts that if Apple tries to do a always on display, they're gonna monk it up. They're gonna monk it up, and it's gonna be terrible because it's the most simple thing in the world. Listen. Turn off the screen and only illuminate the things that we need to see. Not just take a damn screen and darken it. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? So
why be the same as y'all? Let's do something different.
Well, you know what? It is. So I would say this. The lock screens are beautiful. And Keanu, what you were doing, listen, kudos. That's a great ass idea. With your clientele and, making their look beautiful. Awesome. But the always on display with the dimming the screen, I am not a fan. Now I'm gonna tell you another thing. So that's the way I felt about it before the phones came out. Then the phones came out. Then I'm on Twitter and I see people like Zoe Yeah. And I see other folks and some other people. I just turned the damn thing off. I just kept seeing it. And I'm like, I called it. I knew that's what y'all was going to do. I knew y'all was going to turn it off after 3 days. I knew it was going to happen. Just like one person I know, Keon, who turned off the 120 hertz refresh. Just turn it off. Just turn it off.
I'm not even saying. I've never used always on this spread. On my iPhone, at least. I've used it on other phones.
Right.
But I turned it off immediately. Just because, well, for a bunch of reasons, really.
Oh, okay.
One, I don't really care to have always on display.
Okay.
There's nothing I need my phone for that much, especially because I have a watch. That's what my watch is for.
Okay.
My watch is my always on device.
Yeah.
Two, you're right. What Apple did is they dimmed the screen.
Yes.
And they lowered the frame rate to like 1 millisecond.
To 1 mil, yeah, so to 1 frame per second. Yeah.
But it still takes 5%, 10%.
Yeah.
I think it was like averaging 4 to 6% of your battery every day having that on.
So listen, bro.
That's a bit.
I'm just saying, like, honestly, you want to be different. You want yours to look a little bit different. You want yours to look a little special because you are the creme de la creme. You're the, you listen.
Say a lot of people in the back,
Hey, it is what it is, right? This Apple we talking about, we can't just have no regular old text.
We're not regular with the Pro.
Man, we're not doing that. I want to picture you and your family and your cat and dog and the ocean in the background. We just gonna dim that.
And there is, like, if you have Do Not Disturb on, it turns black and white and it gets even darker.
Yeah.
Cool, I guess.
Right.
But
my thing is this is the thing that I had about it the most, Keon, is the people like Zoe, right? I couldn't even throw you because I already knew how you was going to approach this. I think you was going to check it out. You're going to like, okay. And we're never going to see it on your phone ever again. We never going to see it on your phone ever again.
My battery, Zoe said his battery was draining much more with it on than off, obviously. But like I said, though, I wasn't seeing anybody saying more than 10%.
Yeah.
I saw mostly like 4, 6, something like that. Which
I am curious, right? Because I've always had the always on display. I never really tried to see if it had a difference in my battery performance. Maybe
it should.
Maybe it has the whole entire time, and we just
It definitely does with Apple because people were saying it was so bright, like it was dimmer than normal.
Yeah.
But it was so bright that they thought their phones were on.
Yeah.
They thought their phones were coming on to show notifications.
Right.
Yeah. That's too bright.
Yeah.
So for us, it was definitely taking battery. I don't know for you if it's taking battery. What is your show? Just clock?
Yeah.
And notifications?
Yeah, and I got a there's an animation. I'm gonna see if I can get it on. So I got an animation on mine too, but it's let's see if we can get it up here. Can we get it to come on? That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Why do you have that animation playing?
Because I like it.
And that's not even always on. You have to tap it.
Oh well, because I'm holding it up. If I'm holding it up like this, it's gonna go off. Like if it's sitting down, then it'll show it. But yeah,
gotcha.
So I mean, like it's. I just think having just the bare minimum, like the picture I was showing up here, the way they got this iPhone set up right here now, this is acceptable to me. This is now. Granted, I think it's still a little bright, but this this is the byproduct of them having that extra nittage from having the extra nits that they added. This phone right now is the brightest phone on the market right now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like I think that's a byproduct of it just being that bright. I think if you just turn the over, which most people are going to do anyway, because you even say you don't have your phone wide open all the time, do you? Now I like having mine turned all the way up to where it is about to turn red, but I back it right off the red, so it's not red.
The brightness?
Yeah, my shit it stays high. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because, that's the thing. Like, whenever somebody with an iPhone hand you their phone, you can barely read it because they have the screen turned so low all the time.
You can barely read it, bro.
I'm like,
no. My phone,
you at 15%.
Most of the time my phone is on.
It's 15% on the slider. 15% on the slider, if that.
Yeah.
I was looking at my daughter's phone last night trying to log her into the HBO Max.
This is my level right there. In that middle?
Yeah.
That's it. So it's like what? 15?
Nah,
what do you need to block me for?
Dude, look at my joint, bro. Look at
you can't even show me it's so bright.
Yeah, look at like that joint is jacked way up, bro. I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to see it from across the street.
No. No, I can't do that.
Or
just have like automatic on. Automatic is dope.
Yeah.
You choose the level for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's cool too. But I think that also, kind of hits your battery a little bit too by having, especially if you pull it out like a lot, pull it out of your pocket a lot. I think that'll, because it's doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was just thinking I was like to myself, I was like on Twitter, and as soon as I saw Zoe tweet that, I was like, yeah. I called that.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's keeping it on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to keep it on for various reasons, but that's just me. I will say, while we're still talking about Apple, and, I love that you're talking about it. I did get the launch color purple.
Okay, of course you would. You always got to get the hero color. You said
I didn't want to though.
Oh, okay.
I had to ask the girlfriend. The girlfriend said I could rock the purple. She said I could probably, make it work.
Oh.
My favorite thing about it is you can't really tell it's purple.
Nah.
Like it looks graphite almost everywhere.
Yeah.
I do like that.
The plastic shiny parts, but around the camera. Yeah.
But camera, we finally got our 50 megapixel camera.
Yeah,
48.
Yeah.
Only if you're using it in like professional mode.
I got a gripe with the cameras though.
Why?
Because it's so much plastic. The camera module is so large and obnoxious. And listen, I am not excusing Samsung either because they're wrong as hell too. If you actually look at the camera and look at the housing is 75% bigger than the camera. You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with that.
No, that camera ain't that big, bro. The camera ain't
first of all, it's three lenses. And each lens goes to the corner. Corner side.
No, they don't.
I will say that this camera is much bigger than last year, but it's already bigger than the year before.
It still ain't bigger than that ring.
What ring?
The housing around the camera. It still ain't that big.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Right. If I place my phone face down, it's so like raised.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? I was tapping it and it was like clack, clack, clack. I was like, yo. I have a case for this phone right now.
Only because you don't want it to wobble. Because normally you don't use cases. But you
don't. Normally I don't use cases, but I'm going to a lot of like outdoor stuff, festivals, concerts. I just went to a concert 3 days ago, so I want to kind of keep it safe from others.
Yeah.
But it's wobbly face down.
Yeah, that camera module is a little out of control. It's a little bit it's a little bit monstrous now. They could tone that down. But
the cameras are good, especially low light video.
Yeah, which is nice. It's always nice, right? So I think it's cool. Like I said,
that's the one part that Apple still has.
Yeah, I wanted to like people wanted to. They just wanted to watch me explode. It's like, bro, like we waiting on you like that. I'm like, no, man. I mean, like, am I going to buy? Like, here's the thing that you might not believe this, but you can come to my job and you can ask anybody. I still haven't looked at the phone.
I haven't looked at it.
I haven't went over there and picked it up and looked at it. Like,
why not?
I have no reason to.
Speaking of which, you said you don't like the 14 Pro Max.
Yeah.
You don't like that the most, or something like that. Why don't you like that?
I never liked the Pro Max. I never like. I just think I don't like the shape of it. I don't like the size of it. I don't.
It's the same as any other iPhone, just bigger.
Yeah, and it looks stupid.
But they have the 14 Plus now. That's the same size as the 14 Pro Max.
Well, I haven't seen the Plus. Like I said, I haven't seen the phone, so I don't know. I just never liked the Pro Max. I don't like the shape and size of it. It's very weird.
It's a big iPhone, dude. I don't get it.
Well, I'm just saying it's a little too wide, right? It's a little too wide, and it's a little too tall. The shape of it it looks absurd. It looks a little weird to me. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't rock the Max phones. I can't. Yeah. I used to 6 years ago. But I don't rather put Mac phone anymore.
I have no problem with a big phone. Like I think like the S22 Ultra or whatever. Those phones are fine. I just it's something about that Pro Max, the shape of it.
The aspect ratio?
I just never liked it. I never liked it. Yeah, never liked that one at all. And I
don't know. Zell, what do you have? Are you a Max or a regular?
I bet because he seemed like a Pro Max type of dude. You know what I'm saying?
Some people, bro.
Like a Pro Max type of guy. Go big or go home.
I don't think I would go. I don't think I'd go as far as to get like a mini if the mini was still like the same specs as the normal size.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not doing Max. Yeah, he has a Max probably. We're talking about the battery being so great.
Yeah. I mean, I figure he's a Pro Max type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So,
always Pro Max. Yeah, no, I'm good. Always Pro.
Yeah. So I don't know. All in all, I think I think both devices that came out at this launch time were good. I think Samsung did a really, really good job with their phones this year, even though the negativity is that they didn't do nothing, right? You know what I mean?
I do like what you were saying earlier. I think we said this before our sound was fixed, but you were saying how you kind of understand now Apple people going ahead and say, yeah, we're just going to buy the next one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be drastically different.
No.
It works for you.
Yes.
Just like your Galaxy Fold 3. It worked for you.
Yeah.
You just wanted a little bit of refinement.
Yeah. So
that's all you need.
So guy asked me, he was like, bro, didn't you have a Galaxy Fold 3? Like, how do you can't even tell them apart. I'm like, yeah, you can. But I was like, I get it. If
you're a real user, you can.
Right. But I say, I get it if you have a Galaxy Fold 3 and you looking at the 4, like, why? I get that. But I know for me, it ain't even a question. If it's the increment number above what I have, that's the one I want.
Exactly.
That's the one I want.
It's gonna have something in there for us.
Yes.
Whether it's better battery, better camera, some software, like it's gonna be a little bit better. Yeah. And this one's good. I just want a little bit better.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think both like, and I think if you look at it, both companies kind of did the same thing. Like, I think what Apple brought to the table, even though I clown about the always on display, and I laugh about the dynamic, but I laugh about the dynamic island, but I also think that I think it's something for Apple people. I think they should love it. They should. And I think, people who don't got it should be like, oh, that's kind of cool. And if you want that, you need to buy yourself an iPhone, right? I don't want to see that trickle down and kind of like come over this way. I don't want that.
Oh, you know you want to.
Nah, I don't want that. I don't want that, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and find that app. And I'm gonna send it to you.
I don't want that. And as far as the eSIM thing is concerned, listen, Apple always kind of like sets the path for everybody else. It's just whether or not a company that's right there, and like Samsung is going to say, we're going to do that. Now, listen, they did the whole headphone jack and the SD card
and the chargers
right? So they did all of that stuff, and listen, we know Apple made money by taking that stuff away from their phones. You know what I'm saying? So we know that's the reason why they do a lot of this stuff. But I feel like that thing, they need to hold on to the physical SIM for another couple years, bro, until we figure out a way to easily.
Like I said, it's going to be rough internationally.
Yeah.
And Samsung said U.S. phones aren't going to have SIM cards. That's not that bad, especially now that Apple already did it.
Yeah.
So carriers are probably fixing everything that they need to fix.
Yeah.
But internationally, that's going to be tough.
Because it needs to be where you can just punch some codes in or something. And
the funny thing is, you can do that with certain stuff, because they'll help me with my iPad, which is eSIM.
Yeah.
And all we had to do is put a few numbers in.
Yeah.
And for other, because I've used eSIM before on my iPhones, just not only eSIM, and it was only punching a few numbers.
Yeah.
But it wasn't every carrier. There's certain carriers doing that.
Yeah.
Now you got to get everybody into it.
And you know what? I know that it can be easier than what it is, because that's kind of what we do with the watches, right? So like when I was changing me and the wife's watches, yeah, we just went and did it from the app. I just kind of punched in the stuff, and boom, the watch is active, right? So why can't you do that with the phone?
But that's small scale. That's like 10% of their whole, like Verizon. That's 10% of what they're doing.
I guess so.
90% physical SIMs. Now Apple knocked down the door. Said, hey, y'all need to make sure this is ready.
Man, I'll tell you that. I don't want Samsung to be like so caught up in the competition that they want to copy everything that Apple does. Listen, let them.
But like I said, it'll be easier for you than it was for us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let them have their island, and let them have their eSIM, man. Let them have that. You know what I'm saying? Let them have it.
You're gonna jump on this island, dog.
No, man, I'm not feeling that island, bro.
Fly you out to this island.
Listen, on the real though, I'm kind of glad y'all having fun with it though. I think it's dope, right?
It's a nice thing.
Yeah, so it's cool.
When you're using it with maps, it has like little directional arrows.
Yeah, see.
It's dumb sometimes, but it's just like
it's fly, right? So it just says, hey, this iPhone stuff right here, right? This is what we doing. You know what I mean?
iPhone Pro stuff first.
Okay. Well, let's be clear about that too, because I
don't want all the peasants thinking that.
Listen, I have to deal with it too, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you, like while iPhone people deal with it a different way, this is what we have to do. It's Samsung versus every other Android manufacturer on the planet. So like. That's my problem.
You got the pro of Android.
You know
well,
what
how
I'm
come my
saying?
phone don't have that? Because you got a blue.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You got that Moto G plate.
Like, what's going on, bro? How come I can't see my phone on my TV? Well, look at that. What is this phone? I don't even know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
Like,
but
don't
no,
come over here and talk about that.
I ain't playing with it. That's plagiarism. I'm not playing with the island like that. Like I tell you, them dudes on Twitter, they need to slow their roll, man. They need to stop. Because
I saw it. What was it, Monday?
Yeah.
The day after, like the Monday after the phones came out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this it?
Yeah.
Y'all quit?
And then the first one I saw was so lame. I was like, how you even be proud enough to even put this online, bro?
Some people are like,
awesome.
I got to be the first one out there.
This is terrible.
Other people are like, we might as well do it well. Talking
about some kind of look. We have Dynamic Island too. Like, no, y'all don't, bro. That's some BS you got right there.
Hey man. Let them boys have fun.
That's some BS, man. Go ahead with that, man. Go ahead with that. Anyway, listen, Keon, hopefully, once I get everything updated, we get back into the swing of things, everything will be cool. But it was good being back on the show. I just got to tighten some stuff up and update everything because, like I said, those 4 or 5 weeks that we were off, I didn't touch the stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
you weren't in the office?
Nah, man, work had me going, man. Like now I got a second store. So, yeah. And guess what store I got, Keon? Midtown. So I got a bit
of a drive too. That's like what? Drive?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes, but so now I got 2 stores. So like between our launch and then having to do that whole disruption thing that we was doing, which didn't really work because the iPhone still kicked our ass. But anyway, so it was rough. So we couldn't get to the show, but I'm glad we was able to get to the show. And then, like I said, we come back next week. It'll be a little tighter, a little better. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And Zoe, I appreciate you coming through, man, and checking us out too. And
yes, sir.
Who was the other guy?
Yes,
the other guy, Roddy Rich, whoever that was in the beginning. That's cool. I appreciate him too. What's his name? Roddy Rich? Richard Rip?
Richard Rob. Richie Rob.
Richie Rob. Okay, yeah. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us, man. We up out of here. Y'all take it easy. We out. Oh, I'm thinking like I can stop the stream, but I gotta get up and go to it.
Go ahead and get up.
Oh man, I forgot about that. We gotta get this thing tightened up.
This is what we gotta deal with, y'all.